Hi everyone, in this video I'm just going to give you a quick brief about Twinmotion and where things are so that we can get started. We use this project for our final, we use Twinmotion to create renders for our final project 3. So I thought it would be which I had to learn this, I thought it would be a good idea to show people about Twinmotion. So that's your navigation panel. You can pretty much use any of the navigation. I'm just gonna stick to SketchUp. Yeah, so that's your pan, and then once you come here, this is where you can import your files. That's where you can create these urban parts and things to do with urban city modeling. Most of it, and that's your weather. After you finish everything, this is where you come to set up your images, and then at the end, this is where you export things from it. The other thing you need to be aware of is the ground plane. That's the ground plane, and then if you go there, you have this whole bunch of library here, where you can kind of put things in your model. For example, if I go objects, city, and I go construction, I want to place a skip. There you go, place the skip. And a few things. Maybe you just create a construction site now, and put these barricades around. So now that I've done this, here one really good tool to use is that tool. It's like a gumball, very similar to how we use a gumball in Rhino. If you must have used them, you can kind of use them to do anything. The thing is, you have to select them. For example, in this gumball tool, you can do many other things where you can move, rotate, or scale. For example, in the scale, if you press scale, you can it kind of brings that in there for you, where you can that's scaling the background. Sorry, my bad. So you can you have to be very specific about what you want, otherwise it goes and selects another thing. I don't think you can scale this. It's a set model, but yeah, that's how scale works. And basically that's how scale works. So you can scale things gradually or scale things evenly using that by clicking the center of it. There you go. But that only that's for the axis. And there's other things like rotate. So you select that and you want it rotated in a certain way, or let's say I want to rotate that. These pipes, I want it vertical. There you go. And then if I want it vertical, and then yeah, there. But if you always click the center, it always come back to the original. So be mindful of that you don't click the center after you've done this selection. And there goes the ground plane. There you go. It's vertically. And then the other thing you can do is basically move. That's just the normal move tool. So yeah. But here, if you select this, it'll move the whole thing. One annoying thing that it does is after you move, you goes back to the original position. So whatever you do the move first and then rotate. So yeah, just be very mindful of that. I don't know why it does that. It's just a very annoying thing that Twinmotion does. Maybe they might have fixed it by now, but yeah, maybe a few updates. Yeah, that's move, and then that's the eyedropper. That's to select materials. If you're, for example, adding a material. I'm gonna add a material to that block by going into library materials. So you can add any materials. That's gold, iron, brass. Sorry. You can add bronze. Yeah. So it's gonna put a few primitive objects. Yep. I'm gonna put a few things so I can show you guys. A few things there. I can probably show the scale here. You scale it. There you go. See how you can kind of manipulate along the axis, or you can do like a complete scale by clicking that button there. All right, now we can just want to show you like how to apply materials. Very easy to apply materials. Go to the, so usually it's in library. That's your library there. Whichever material you want, wood. You want wood, just drag and drop, or you can use the eyedropper and select the material and then drag and drop. It's very straightforward. And then here you have all these selections. You can change the color, pink wood, and weather off. And then yeah, like things like glow and bump, and just to kind of give you. You have to really zoom in to kind of see that, but yeah, you can play around with these things. That's material. And other thing I wanted to show you was this navigation panel where you have this time of day. You can play with shadows. That is to give you the zoom speed. For example, if you're in a very big, large city, you want to zoom down. You want to be zooming in very fast like that. So to give you more control, you have that a cyclist speed, and then a person's speed, which is even slower. So it's kind of like you kind of play around with depending on the scale you're at, which is very useful, I believe. And that's like to take screenshots, and this is to bring the viewer to the ground level. And then there's a helicopter mode which allows you to pan around. A few other things, top view, side view, so that's pretty good to have these nice views. And then you also get the perspective view. I just prefer to keep it at perspective all the time. Then that's for clipping, and then virtual reality, that's for later. Yeah, these are the kind of core basics. That's your background of the city, which comes later in the urban. You can kind of set up backgrounds, and yeah, in there you can go to location and then set up the background there. It can either be a picture like that, or on the bay. You can change it to a bay, mountains, waterfront. So yeah, you can always. It's very straightforward, easy to learn software.